what that marriage vow says is, so we'll come together. We're really not sure how we got here, but here we are. And I'm so afraid that it won't last, that I'm going to lock you into, and you're going to lock me into a promise that neither one of us are ever even going to be able to come close to keeping. And then we'll just hold it over each other's head until we exacerbate our reason for not being together. Because after all, we're going to need huge justification to break apart if we are not living happily ever after. And we say, oh, it is a very troubling situation. If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would not go down that road. We would get into alignment with who we are, and we would say, source energy, I'm feeling pretty good. Please help me to align, find, interact with, come to know someone who's a vibrational mate, and I'll know it when I see it, and you will. So, in the same way that you are being called up that emotional scale, you can only allow in relationship-wise something that matches wherever you are on that emotional scale. So the universe lines you up with the perfect person to help you to either or, and usually both, launch more things into vibrational escrow, or clean up your vibration that you've already launched into vibrational escrow. So very often, the universe will put in your path, or will call you along your path, to someone who is the perfect next logical step from where you are. Not the final step, the next logical step on this path of where you're going. But in your culture, you want to make everyone the final step. And so you look at this one, and even though there are aspects that you appreciate and reasons that you are together, as you find the flaws, not only do you not then continue the call on to the next and the next and the next, but you end up going in the opposite direction often. So sometimes people are unsettled when they hear us talk like this, because it makes it sound like you are using relationships as stepping stones to get to where you really want to be. And we say everything in life is standing where you are and garnering whatever you can from where you are on your way to yet a fuller and fuller and fuller and fuller understanding. So it is possible that you could come together with someone who matches you where you are. And you could, in that relationship, give birth to all kinds of clear ideas of what you really prefer in a relationship. And as you give birth to that, then do the processes to get into alignment with it. And it's possible that this relationship could evolve as it moves up. In other words, we're not saying that you could not meet someone and together move up the emotional scale. We just want you to understand that whatever is coming to you always matches. And so if you want to be kind to other people, move up the scale and then join with the other one. But many of you say, Abraham, you came to me a bit late. I have marriage vows. I have commitments. We have children. We have financial obligations. In other words, we are intertwined in this relationship, and we say you can clean it up from wherever you are. And so the last thing that we'll say about this for now is, if you will let the relationship between you and you be your dominant awareness, and you will really care about how you feel, and you will work to close that gap again and again, what begins to happen is that every relationship that you have improves. Every person, yourself included, every person is like the universe at large. They have components that are a match to what you want and components that are not. And when you clean up your vibration by fixating upon the best of them, so that the best of them is what's active in you, then the best of them is the basis on which your relationship will evolve, you see. And then you're not running around trying to find some other improvement. You're allowing law of attraction to yield it to you right where you are. It always does. Do your best to find the best that you can find. But if you're feeling really wonderful, the universe is going to yield to you wonderful people. If you're not feeling so good, you're going to bump into the waitress that doesn't give a rip about you. You're going to get entangled in traffic. In other words, the universe is always yielding to you a reflection of wherever you are. You've just got to make peace with where you are and appreciate every person who's coming into your experience, because they are a representation of how you're flowing. And as you accept them as this gift of information, and then let your next desire or decision flow out of that, then before you know it, you're appreciating everything that everyone brings to you, because we're all in this together. Once you learn about emotions, and once you learn how to walk your way up the emotional scale, you can deliberately activate a part in you, and what you will discover is that every one of those relationships will be transformed because of the new activation that you've been working on. Don't you notice people? Children, it's easiest to see in, but with adults too. Haven't you ever seen children behave one way with that person and an entirely different way with another person? And it's because those two different people were focused on the children in two different ways and activating in themselves two different vibrations, and law of attraction was just yielding to them what was dominant in them. People give you what you expect every single time.